This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
You know how sometimes the first play of the game can be a real tone setter?
Aussie.
Yeah, I basically just went with Ashton Jen Teabag.
NFL.
He's not a walking 7 for 70 as I learnt last week when he went 1 for 5.
Fantasy.
I'd probably lean towards taking Henry maybe ahead of McCaffrey just because of what I've seen.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Loading.
Australia's premier NFL fantasy football show is back for the Aussie Gridiron Network. This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. They call me Matty C, and joining me I said this last week, I don't care, I'm going to say it again, Australia's podcasting comeback player of the year, it's Taylor. How are you, mate?
Matty C, we are here, and I am loving it. Tonight we have a Josh, but not the one that puts T. Higgins on the spit. Let's go!
When you got to it, I was wondering how that was going to go. By the way, T. Higgins Spit Roast, you can get a hat, shirt, whatever you like from the merch store. Get it for Grandma, she'll love it.
Yeah, the last... for anyone who didn't listen to an episode from last year, last time we had a Josh on, me and him talked about putting T. Higgins on a spit. So, that's basically the direction that this weird podcast goes in.
It is, and I think poor Josh is going to find that out fairly soon. I'm looking forward to bringing a guest too, because another great new voice to join us on the podcast from the Australian podcasting community of Aussie NFL football players. And, mate, this community has just grown and grown and grown, especially this year. There's something a bit about it this year where we've just had so many people throw their hand up and say they want to be involved, they want to join the chat, they want to join our leagues, and every week I see somebody listen to our silly show and I see that little counter even just go up 1. I think, oh, God bless that person. Do they even know what they're getting into? I just feel really, really grateful for the time that people spend with us, Tay.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We had so many people on last year, and there was obviously some people that were within the network already and friends of the network and blah, blah, blah. But then to have even more voices come on this year has been amazing, because it's not like we're just bringing back all the same people from last year. We're finding new voices and people in our leagues and stuff like that, Aussies that are really keen on NFL fantasy. So like I said, and like you said, another new voice on tonight. It's absolutely amazing. It's so cool that this many people are into NFL fantasy.
I'm loving that we're sort of become a bit of a touch point for that community to get to know that we're all here too, because I think for a long time, I've been playing fantasy for a very long time, and early on you just don't even know if other people in the country are even playing it unless somebody drags you in, and I kind of found it organically myself. And it's just nice to know that over time, it's not just the people who are watching NFL football, but they're also diverging and joining this really nerdy bit where you're relying on stats and probability and all these things that I'm sure my Year 10 maths teacher's really glad I'm still using in my adult life, even if not quite applied the way she might have been hoping. But, shout out to Miss Nowlin. She was a big believer in the old Matty C, mate, and I feel like this might do her proud.
Yeah, shout out to my autism. I think that's definitely playing a part in my NFL fantasy and loving it. So, yeah, look, I think all of us that are doing it probably have a little bit of autism or ADHD in us. So I think definitely would have been diagnosed on some kind of spectrum when I was younger, but luckily enough, they didn't give a shit about it back then like they do now. So, look, we've said, just so glad to have a new voice on tonight, and yeah, let's crack into it.
Well, we'll bring Josh in a sec, but what I want to do first, hey, and firstly, Eurodivergence, unite! I've got a bunch of them in both the green and the red leagues, and usually I throw to you first, but fuck it. Yeah. I've been the boss here for the last few weeks, so I'm going to go first.
Go for it, mate.
And I'm going to keep pretty brief because I got fingered pretty hard in both the red and the green leagues. But, and Boyd, the medical tent, He beat me fair and square. He threw up 170 points in a league where 130 is a pretty good. It's a standard PPR, right? I came second in the league with 150. That would have beat everybody except Boyd, and it bothers me a little bit because that's a good week. My team's not, amazing in that league. I'm sort of 6-4 or whatever, and just because I've scored a bunch of points, I'm coming fourth. But yeah, I really feel sad that the best week of my season didn't even get me a win. And then Boyd, he goes and does something weird today, just to keep up his medical tent name. He goes and drops Mark Andrews or some nuff to go and pick up Brock Purdy. And I see what he's doing. He's just going and dropping people who are iffy to go and pick up people who are injured so he can keep saying his team's injured all the time. So I'm onto you, Boyd. I'm onto you. He's still coming second in that league behind Joshua, 98. And then in the red league, mate, we talked about Tom. He goes by Yarpin in Supercoach, and his team is called Penix Inya Butka. And we talked about him on the Supercoach podcast yesterday. But, mate, he runs a team in my red league. He goes by Randall McSupercob in that league, which I fucking love. And his team in that league is clearing away number one. So this guy is just fantasy in a side of fantasy. He's currently on a beach in Vanuatu sipping some frothies. And he said he'd give us a little nod while he's doing that. But, mate, he is currently leading our Supercoach half a podcast giveaway as well. So this guy is just an unstoppable force. I'm going to see if he's available later in the year to teach me how to play fantasy football.
Yeah, might be another good voice to bring on the podcast. But, shout out to him like we brought up in the podcast earlier today. Leading our league, we're giving away an NFL jersey to the person that wins our league. We're over 300 people in that league, which is absolutely amazing. But it's great to have some people in our listener leagues as well. That's why we obviously want to give you guys a shout out at the start of the show.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So, yeah, Joshua currently leads the Green League, and Random McSupercob, or, introduced himself to me in DMs as Tom, so I'll go with Tom, lying belly up over there in Vanuatu, having the time of his life, and just giving us all a fucking lesson in fantasy football. Big nods to you, lads. Tay, how's the gold and the blue leagues looking, real quick?
Not too bad. There hasn't really been too much change, because, there was a bit, I think I mentioned last week, the ladder kind of had dispersed a bit, where the bottom six, had kind of fallen off a bit, and the leaders were super high in front. So there really isn't much difference. It's kind of like me. I'm sitting at 5-5 in both the blue and the gold league. So I'm kind of pretty well entrenched, 6th and 5th in both leagues. So it's kind of making some of these matchups almost not pointless, but matter a little bit less. So, look, again, things can happen. There's still a few weeks left, but it kind of seems like we know who's going to be getting the buys, and we know who's going to be at the bottom of the finals. So I'll just give the guys a shout out again. At Fat Watts is 9-1. He's playing me this week. I'm not really looking forward to that. Like I said to you last week, he's got the biggest points for gap I think I've ever seen. He's got 1,707 points. The next highest is me, I believe. Yeah, me at 1,409.
You're scoring 140 points a week, and this guy's just casually lobbing up an average of 170.
Yeah, so I'm second.
Makes me sick.
In points for. So, the guy coming second's 1,403, then there's a couple of 13s and third and fourth. He is absolutely dominating this league. But as we know in fantasy, it's funny how you dominate the regular season doesn't always guarantee success in the playoffs. But I just thought I'd give another shout out to Adfat Watts, because he is absolutely cleaning that league up in the regular season so far. So well done to him. Just over in the gold league, I took one of the biggest beatdowns from Michael Poe you'll ever see. I scored 90 though. So my team, I would like to call it a schedule loss, because I had that many guys on bye on my bench. Okay. So it never felt like I was probably in the hunt. But there's another one where Cam, the beanbag man, he's sitting in first. He's 9-1. He's doing really well. This is another one where I've said where it's kind of, the guys in the bottom sort of half of the league are pretty far down, but the guys at the top are dominating. So Cam's 9-1, Poe's 8-2. We've got Kev at 6-3-1. He had a draw against
in
Prometheus Rex somehow.
Double decimals, two factor decimals. He's got a tie.
Yep, somehow. But I'm 5-5.
Only Kev.
I'm 5th at 5-5 and 7th. So the player that's just outside the top 6 is 3-7. So that's why I'm trying to say a bit of a break at the top. So it's making these matchups a little bit less needy at the moment, but famous last words. Sometimes you say that and you lose the last 4 and you're out. So we'll see.
Well, fucking careful, mate, because I'm 3-7 in that red league, and I've still got aspirations to make the playoffs. Okay, so just on that. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been trying to rustle up some trades, but there's pretty much a bit of a, if we just let Matty suffer and, marinate his own juices, he'll just shut up and go away. And I'm proving to be a thorn in people's sides because keep on firing out the trades. I'm desperate to try and fix this team. It's almost like silent agreement. Nah, we'll just let Matty rot.
It's like trying to fucking fix the crack in an arsehole.
It's not happening. But, mate, these leagues are great. We've had so many folks join these. It's 36 individual heads playing in each of these against us. And the winners of these leagues, or the people who place the highest, will, they're going to walk away with about $100 of cool AGN merch from the merch store. Includes something you get a shirt, hat, sticker, that kind of thing for that kind of range of stuff. And we're looking forward to being able to furnish the winners with that. Because, mate, I've had a blast. Every week I've been firing a most banal insult to my opponent that I can every week. And it's been met with derision pretty much and disregard. But, mate, I continue to fire him in there. And I think it has helped those leagues along a little bit too. Because, mate, in one I'm 50-50, and the other I'm not even that. So just trying to keep my spot in those leagues relevant.
Mate, I booted 2 people last week from the league. So it's really happening.
Yeah, now it's on, right? You bring in 2 people who are like, right, we'll fix this. And I love that that's going to be enthusiasm. So, mate, we will bring the updates on these as the season progresses. But, mate, we were talking through the week, just real quickly before we bring on our guest too, about some players who we sort of thought were worth a little shot at stumps, mate. There's one player in particular, now that we're 10 weeks in and we're starting to hit trade deadlines, about this time of year we usually do a buy low, sell high episode. We tend to have done it around this period of the year, but things being what they have been this year, we haven't been able to run on our usual sort of schedule and some of these things. I just want to bring up a player who I've shot off a trade offer to in practically every league where I don't own his teammate. I've just shot out a trade offer to everyone who I know for T. Higgins. I've just got this little feeling that knowing that, Joe's been doing a great job of driving that boat, but the minute the other Joe's back, I kind of feel like that helps T out. And T's sort of, depending on your scoring, between about wide receiver 19 and 25. And I feel like everybody's got a player on their roster at the moment who they don't love as much as they might love what T. Higgins can present, that they would happily pass off, who might feel like better value today to make a deal like that happen. And, mate, for example, I traded Travis Etienne. He's getting plenty of volume. Any day he could score 2 touchdowns or he could score none, you don't know, and turn him into T. Higgins, and I fucking love that. So this is the guy. He is my focus at the moment, my shot at stumps at this point of the year, T. Higgins.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Outside of the last game we saw from the Bengals, T. Higgins kind of relies on Joe Burrow a little bit. Like, even with Joe Flacco throwing a lot, he seemed to really hyper target Jamar Chase. Like, it was kind of...
I would too.
Like, when you actually look at some of the Joe Burrow seasons, T. Higgins actually has like the same target rate as Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase just does a little bit more with it, and that's why he sort of finishes, higher up in the rankings each year. But when you've actually seen Flacco in, it's been a huge amount of targets to Jamar Chase, and you kind of are like banking on one massive play from Higgins to actually be happy. Outside of the last game, for whatever reason, it got shared more in that one specific game, even though there was like 8-9 points in it. Yeah, I like it. Like, if Burrow really is coming back in week 13, which, given my ridiculous fab dump in Kelly Cup, which we'll talk about with the guests on soon, I'm hoping that they at least stay competitive in the next 2 weeks to even want to bring Joe Burrow back. So that's also a little bit of a concern, is all of a sudden they've pretty much out of playoff contention. Do they even bring Joe Burrow back, or do they just let him rest for next year? That's always a concern as well. But I like the Higgins play because I think, based off like what he's done in the last, say, 4 or 5 weeks compared to what he can do with Burrow, I think there's a pretty big chasm there. So I like that pick. Can I just do one really quickly? It's actually one that I've sort of put some feelers out over the last couple of weeks, because even though he's been very good, I think he can be better. It's Jalen Waddle of the Miami Dolphins. His target rate at the moment is insane in that team, and even though like this team's been an absolute dumpster fire and it just seems like they're just quitting and blah blah blah, they still seem to play hard enough for McDaniels. Like, yes, I believe he's going to be gone at the end of the year, but you even saw the ability to turn up last week against the Bills, and even though I don't think that's the norm for this team, even if they're behind in games, if anything, that's better for Waddle. I think the only reason he didn't have a bigger game last week was because they led, surprisingly, against the Bills. If they were in a behind game script, he might have actually had a better game. So I think Waddle, with that target share, it's basically just him and Achane, and that's it. And I think even though Tua, like, we all don't believe he is like an elite quarterback, but we do believe he's got enough there, especially in this McDaniels offense, to actually facilitate at least one good pass catcher, if not two. So I think Waddle without Tyreek Hill there is actually going to do better in the run home than he's even been doing in the last few weeks. So I'm sort of putting some offers out there. There was a couple of leagues where I offered for him for guys that were on the buy because I needed to buy a win a couple of weeks ago. So I was able to trade for Waddle in a couple of leagues a couple of weeks ago in leagues that I was a bit iffy. I wasn't sure if I was going to make the playoffs. So I'm very happy with him moving forward, and honestly, I'd still be putting offers out for him now because I think he's under-repped a little bit compared to what he can deliver.
Love it. And like we all knew that Tyreek Hill was going to open opportunities if the quarterback play could be okay. Quarterback play looks like it's going to be not good, but okay. So
yeah, I don't
need the bar.
I don't need it to be great. I just need it to be serviceable, basically.
Yeah. And here we are. We're talking about guys who are receiving passes from what remains of Tua and what remains of Joe Flacco. So, you know, it's not like we're saying Hall of Fame talent. We're literally just taking guy who still has a semblance of an arm and we think can see. That's our bar of what we needed a quarterback to be mentioning these guys. Generally number twos on their team, but here they are with great opportunities. So, and I like that when we were talking about doing this earlier in the week that we kind of already had people in mind, so it was a pretty easy thing to bring to the masses, and hopefully some folks are able to make a move on it if they're not in leagues with you and I.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Hey, is that movement in your pants?
That's the question.
A little bit of beer, but a lot of vodka.
How does all this stack up when we bring it into a fantasy landscape?
I did absolutely no research on purpose, just because I basically had them everywhere.
I mean, no, that's what we're trying to harness here.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Mate, I feel like we've done enough of the the general thing that we do to kick this off. I'm desperate to get our guest in, mate. He's been sitting and waiting for us to bring him in. Do you want to do the honours too? Because you've been working with Josh here for far longer than me. We go back about 15 minutes.
He's there patiently waiting while we waffle on about bullshit. But
he's so well behaved.
It's like I said, it's just great to have another guest on. I actually caught up with him face to face at my brother's son's, so my nephew's birthday party a couple of weeks ago, and I actually sort of asked him to be on the pod if he wanted to come on the podcast then, and he was super keen. Every time we catch up, we're always bantering about NFL and NFL fantasy in general, and he joined the Kelly Cup late last year, the league that my brother sort of runs, because there was like sort of one person that was sort of hard to get a hold of and wasn't as interested as everyone else, and Josh sort of stepped in straight away and took over his team. This year, this is his first year where he's actually been able to sort of draft his own team and be involved. But like I said, he's always been involved in my brother's poker nights and stuff like that. So I just wanted to welcome in Josh. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, gents. Thank you for having me. It's an honour.
Nice. Welcome to the horrendous, degenerate world of NFL fantasy football too. By the sound of it, you're freshly minted, fresh fish.
Yeah, it's the first time I've really played in a proper league where people really get into it, and yeah, it's fun.
Well, mate, and it's not that you haven't been watching NFL football. You've been watching the game for a while. How is that then moving into this, where you've then kind of got to take some things that you know about NFL football, but it really does change the way you think about the game when you've now got a team of people from all across the league. It changes the way you watch it a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you just have your team, that's sort of all you really watch. but then you have, well, I mean, I've got Jonathan Taylor in the Kelly Cup, so I mean, I'm having a great time watching that. But at the same time, I've got Kenneth Walker, and I'm just there, just bouncing my head off the desk. So it's it's like you said, you definitely have your highs and lows, but it's very much spread out across all the different games, which is great.
Yeah, and I think I found the same thing. Like, I've been a Jaguars fan for a very long time, and it means that it's hard to enjoy watching just straight NFL football all the time if you're hooked on whether your team wins or loses or not. So I very quickly learned you can't. It can't be about whether you win or lose. You've got to find other ways to enjoy the game. And it probably took 6 or 7 seasons of watching them before I discovered NFL Fantasy. But mate, it really helped my brain understand a lot more about how other teams work. Because, man, when I'm not watching the Jags lose to everyone else, I'm not really watching them. And it really helped me start to watch other teams and get to appreciate some of the other things that teams really do.
Yeah, definitely.
What have you found that NFL brings to you? What excitement has fantasy brought to you in the way you watch the games now?
I think, yeah, like you said, I go for the Patriots, so I've only had a couple of seasons where we haven't been great. Subtle dig. But,
that's also awful. I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, I mean, this year's been terrible. This year's just been so
this
horrible.
long-suffering Patriots.
But yeah, I feel like the fantasy community is great. It's just brought me into a completely different community where you can, like Tay said, you can just sit around and talk shit about players that you've never seen before, and then you walk into a draft and everyone's going on about these college players, and so now I've started watching college football as well, and it's unreal.
God, your life has changed.
You're ruined. This life is ruined.
Yeah. So you may actually have to apologise to Josh's entire extended family, because they may never see him with the frequency and regularity they used to, and then the subjects he's going to talk about are clearly going to be altered. This game does horrible things to a human being.
Fantasy has ruined plenty of friendships, families, everything. So, look, mate, welcome to, something that's so wonderful, yet something that's so terrible at the same time.
Thank you.
Mate, I wanted to ask you too about drafting, because for the first few years I played fantasy football, I played in leagues where we auto-drafted. You just preset a ranking. You'd wake up on draft day and your team would just be auto-selected for you, and you'd go from there. And it wasn't until about 2015 that I started to get into the idea of doing a mock draft and joining a draft live. Clearly, you just join this, pick up an orphan team at the end of last year, and then in the off-season this year, you're expected to be prepared for a draft day. How'd you feel about that? Was it enjoyable, intimidating? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I was pretty intimidated, to be honest. Particularly, knowing
the new kid on the block
was in there, and a couple of the other guests have been are in the Kelly Cup as well, and but I did a lot of mock drafts. I have about an hour on the train to and from work. The mock drafts got a pretty good workout. We're in a Superflex league, so you have to think a little bit outside the box as well. So most of the time, or a lot of the information that I first started looking at, I didn't quite understand how it worked. And in my mind, I was like, okay, well, I've got to pick a running back. I had pick 3. I've got to pick a running back. And then when I actually realised what Superflex was, I was like, okay, well, no, I've got to start looking a little bit differently. And it's, it was really, really good. And I think the thing that I really like this year is more than half of the fantasy league got together. We had beers and played darts and lots of stuff. So, it was a good opportunity to sit down and pick a team, which was fun.
Yeah, I think we've done that. I think it's maybe like the 4th year or 5th year that we've got together for something. Like, I remember Kieran set it up. We all went to Shelley's maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and then just most years ever since, what he does is he makes like a draft day / poker night. So we, like, everyone from the league, or as many people from the league, come for the draft, and it's like, if you want to stay and play poker after, you can just hang around and play that. So yeah, it's always been a super fun day doing that. And like, we changed to Superflex maybe 3 years ago because like things were sort of getting a little bit redundant with the draft, and a lot of people had the same sort of tactics about waiting for quarterback, in a one quarterback league, and it just made it super interesting because it just changed up everyone's draft strategies. And like, even for me, right, in the Kelly Cup this year, I kind of, where I was situated was like pick 6 or something. So I ended up taking Jamar Chase because the top 4 quarterbacks went and before me, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pivot away and sort of look for value at quarterback later. But then it was like it kept coming around to me, and I liked running backs and wide receivers, so I went like 6 rounds, and then I was like, all right, Dak and Jordan Love were sort of my targets, and then there was 2 picks in front of me, and then it went Dak, Jordan Love in front of me, and I'm like, fuck, this is bullshit. So I'm sitting there in like round 5, I think it was, or 6, without a quarterback, and I was like, you know what? I'm going all in here. I'm leaving it even longer. So I think I reached at that point for Emeka Egbuka in like round 6 or something, and like that's obviously worked out pretty well. And then I ended up taking Matt Stafford in like round 9 or something as my quarterback 1. And then I think I ended up just sort of piecing it together between Stafford and Penix, and I've had Tua as well. So Tua hasn't been amazing. It's just been like, I've just been piecing together a quarterback and just running like these, because my wide receivers are Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra, Egbuka.
Yeah,
so it's
bulletproof.
Like, some people are loaded at quarterback. It's like when you walk out of the Superflex draft, you're just guaranteed to be shit somewhere. Like, you pretty much can't be loaded in every position. It's like you either went quarterback early and you're struggling at running back, or you went running back early and you don't have a wide receiver, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's super hard to sort of be balanced in a super flex draft. So that's why we felt like it made sense to do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty lucky in my draft, apart from picking Burrow and then him deciding to stub his toe really badly. I picked him with pick 3, and then came around, I got Puka Nacua in round 2, and then round 3 I got Jonathan Taylor. So I was pretty happy with those 3 to start with. And then the rest of my team, I picked up Baker and Daniel Jones, which was a very late pick. So
you were flying early. Were you like 4 or something? I think you're still the highest scoring player.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
would have had a few in the middle that you started to lose. I remember you were off to an absolute flyer, and then, like I said, the whole league just got so even, and all of a sudden everyone that was winning early started losing, and everyone was losing early started winning, and it's just like, I'm the opposite. I keep going back and forward. It's like I can't get a winning or a losing streak. It's like every time I win, I lose the next week, and vice versa. I can't get anything going at all. It's just such a close league.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's great.
And what's fun too is that most folks' first dalliance isn't in a Superflex. So for you to come into that straight out of the gate will, I think, put you in a really good stead as a career fantasy player, being able to accept future wrinkles. Like, you'll see things like now there's leagues out there where a tight end will score differently from other receivers. And it's like, it's a bit easy to accept that when you've been in a league where you can accept that you already need to strategize for a second quarterback. And each bolt on from there gets easier to take, where for some of us old curmudgeons like me, who's just been like, nope, it's 1 quarterback, it's 2 running backs, it's a couple of wide receivers. Flex was new when I first started playing fantasy. Flex, it didn't even exist in the first year I played. It was 3 wide receivers, a tight end. Leagues then started making one of those receiver spots a flex, and that was an adjustment. So it's I think it's good to get into a league from the outset that does kind of have a wrinkle, because I think it makes it easy to then accept any other changes in future leagues where for me, I'm not the easiest at dealing with change to begin with. We're talking about this in our Supercoach teams. When you've got to make a realisation that something's evolved and you're a bit slow moving on it. So it's just a good spot to be in terms of your longevity in fantasy. And it sounds like, at this stage, if you're scoring a lot of points, maybe you like fantasy a bit.
I liked it when, like Tay said, I was going really good at the beginning. I think I was on like a 5-game winning streak, and then on about a 3-game losing streak. So yeah, I'm currently sitting at 5th. That's how tight it is in our league at the moment. Just lose a couple of games and you drop from 1st to 5th very quickly.
Wow.
Josh and I had like the biggest seesawing battle like 3 weeks ago, where it was like, I've never seen like a matchup where one person is like projected to win by, I don't know, 10 or 15 like multiple times. Like it was like, one of us would be miles in front and then someone would just fucking shit the bed, and then the other person would be all of a sudden in front by a mile. And then it was like going into Monday Night Football, I think it was the one where there was 2 games, and it was like the Lions and the Bucks, and I think you went back, and he just went shit house. And I
had JMO. You got donuts.
Well, right, yeah, Jamo and Baker.
Yep. Baker, yep.
Yeah, so that all of a sudden, like I said, you were projected to win that by like 10 or something. Then all of a sudden after that game, I was projected to win by like 8 or 10 or something. It was just going back and forth, and then I think in the end you needed like 20 from Kenneth Walker or something. He just kept breaking off the play and then getting to the 1-yard line and giving it to fucking Charbonnet. What happened? So it's
infuriating.
I was going to say too, Matty, with the draft strategy in that league, it's not only super flex, but we have 2 flexes. So that also was when I missed out on like some of those quarterbacks, it made me want to fill out my roster at quarterback, at wide receiver and running back a bit more, because I knew you had to start 2 flexes as well. So that's just another wrinkle that makes that draft super interesting.
Yeah, and again, it just, once you're comfortable with something like that, it does make moving in any other league format a little easier if you're used to sort of things that are a bit tougher from the outset. The home league that Tay and I have been playing, and this is a league that was something that was created from an American football team we used to play with here in the ACT, to try and upkeep some of those friendships when I knew our club was going to fail. It's a 16-team league, but our bench is only 4 people. So God, it makes you work hard on trying to make sure that you're thinking about your depth all the time, and it's encouraged trades because you don't want to drop a valuable player. You want to get something back for them. So then you're tapping people on the shoulder going, you look like you could use a running back. Oh, I've just got this spare one who I'm going to have to drop otherwise. So what have you got that you could send me if I give you this guy, so you don't have to go into waivers for that guy, and you may not get him, but you know you can get him if you send me something. And it just, that league is, because of its super breadth, it's 16 teams, and its shallow depth, has been super interesting to be a part of over time. So it's fun when you get into one really tweaky sort of league like that. 2 quarterbacks and then also an additional flex. Well, it's like this, as Taylor says, you can't leave that draft feeling amazing, and nobody else does. That's the great thing, is you're not alone.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, coming sort of new into it, the idea of trades is quite daunting, I guess.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, last year when I think the very first trade I got offered was from Tay, and he offered me.
Of course it was. Oh fuck! I hope you said no before you even looked at it.
No, he gave me Dak, Bucky Irving.
Yeah, I got fleeced.
Oh no, sorry. You gave me Bo Nix and Bucky Irving, and I gave you Dak Prescott.
Yeah, Dak did his ankle
the following week.
A minute later. Yeah,
usually the week after. Now, I think I was on the pod, Matty, and remember I brought up Dak as like an awesome.
You talked about it.
Yeah, so this is super flex.
I remember this.
I essentially gave who at that time had been good, but then like basically rocket shipped straight after I traded him, and Bucky Irving.
Unbelievable.
For fucking Dak. And then I ended up doing another trade with you later though, where I got Amon-Ra for, I can't remember what I gave, but that worked out better for me, so it felt like I evened it out somehow. But then another one of these leagues, this happens to me every fucking year, you only see in the Kelly Cup. I've had that many years where I've been either a first or second seed, and I cannot win a semi-final to save my life. Like, if you that league where you just feel like you just cursed, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
League, like, I'm not cursing the regular season. Like, I seem to be able to put together really good seasons, and then as soon as it gets to the finals, I can't win. And our mate Dan seriously wins nearly every fucking year. It doesn't matter if he scrapes in or if it's a really good year. There's just like one guy in our league that seems to always win it. It's just so funny.
everybody's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Just everyone's got that in common. You can hate Dan together. And this is what I love about fantasy. It brings people together.
Together to hate Dan.
Yeah. And for instance, all 15 people in the other league, we all hate Tay. We just hate when we get a trade offer from Tay. It used to be they hated me. Then Tay joined the league and like, oh, now we hate that prick more. It's unifying. It's like dad jokes at Christmas.
Everyone hates me in every league, so that is very unifying.
I'm sure that league is just sick of you and I peppering them with trade offers too. I mean, I've been pretty active in trading this year.
I take the piss out of it now. I always just send messages to league. Like I took a screenshot of the sleeper thing saying that the trade deadline was in. So then I sent a message saying, "Everyone brace yourselves."
Yes.
There was also like
that Game of Thrones thing. Brace yourselves. Yeah. Trade deadline is coming.
I also had like 4 pending trade offers to 4 different people last week that none of them responded. So I wrote it in the group chat saying, "Could all 4 of you please just decline my offers, please, and just put me out of my misery?"
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Probably
get that thumb out of your mouth and use it to hit no or yes, but something. Isn't it infuriating when you're in an office setting and you've got to send out an invite and 30% of the people you sent the invite to don't even give you a yes or no, and you're just like, now I don't know how many to cater for. Fuck you.
And then they rock up anyway.
I reckon probably the quickest rejection of a trade offer has been to Taylor as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was, like week 4 or 5 or something like that. He offered me Jamar Chase for Puka Nakua when Puka was just throwing up ridiculous numbers and Jamar Chase couldn't catch
Joe
the ball.
Burrow had just fucking turned into worm food and was in a box 10 feet under the ground. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so that basically came through and that got rejected within about 15 seconds.
Yeah, but he should have known that Joe Flacco was coming.
I should have known.
Instantly, I'm drawn to Josh, mate. I'm instantly drawn to you, mate. I like your energy.
Smash reject.
I fucking love that. Well, mate, we're going to take some of your ball knowledge, and I like that you've been around the block enough now. I think, it sort of sounds like you're pretty comfortable with telling Taylor to go and fuck himself when he gives you a bad trade offer, and when to accept one you feel like is good value and just let that ride. Because the next couple of things we want to put people through, and we love doing this with our guests because it exercises their opportunity to share stories and share some information, is that we want to talk about players who we expect we could see a breakout week from here in week 11. We've only got 2 teams on bye, so we've got plenty of players to pick from, which I love. And then the other thing we like to do on a Friday show too is play our segment that's sweeping the nation, Tipping Point, which Tay actually got a win up this week, which I'm very impressed with him on, and we'll recap that in a mo. But mate, you've done a bit of work on pulling together a breakout player for us. We can rely on you.
Yeah, I've tried to get a couple, one each position, so we'll see how we go.
G'day, Gridiron.
Some of the things that come out of my mouth, I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, I joke that I've got enough drops from Brad right now that I could probably create Brad AI.
Twice a week all season long on the Aussie Gridiron Network.
I don't care that you're 22 years old. No phones!
G'day, Gridiron.
What I like to do too in this segment is I like to throw to our guest first and say, doesn't really matter which position of the quarterback, running back, wide receiver or tight end. If there's one person on that list you just feel the most drawn to, the one who excites you the most this week, for how much you think they could break out, we'll start there. And then Tay and I will throw in who we think at that position as well. But it kind of gives you the chance to set the tone, just so it's not always Tay feeling like he's the fucking expert around here.
I still am.
All right, well, I guess I'll start with quarterback.
Come on.
Most valuable position on the field, as 99% of people say. Initially, I was thinking of either Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love after that travesty that we want to call Monday Night Football. But I'm actually going to go. I'm going to stick true to my Patriots heritage and go for Drake May. Look, I know he's been very consistent all year, but against the Jets, they've got no more special sauce. They've got no Quinnen Williams. And I really think that Drake May is just going to go ballistic. Stephon Diggs, he's just sort of been so good this year, just consistent.
Yeah.
Kyle Williams had a good game last week. I think it's a really good opportunity for the Patriots just to go nuts.
I love this because Drake May, surprisingly, depending on your format, we tend to talk in 10-team standard, generally like standard scoring, whether it's one quarterback or two. But however you slice that, he's been quarterback 1 or 2 on the league year for most of the year, which is. I know that there's people who sort of said, "Oh, he should have a good year." No one thought he was going to be quarterback 1 or 2. So he's been better than advertised. In terms of fantasy points, how many points do you think he can put up against this Jets team who, as you say, they're like the Whitney Houston song. They have nothing. Nothing. Nothing!
I mean, I think...
Usually Tay who does the singing, by the way. I'm sorry about that.
My singing was so good.
Well, I mean, I reckon I wouldn't be surprised if he's pushing close to 350, 400 yards against these guys. Right. He's got some really good speedsters in the team, like I said. I reckon, 3 or 4 touchdowns. I can't remember what Matt Stafford got a couple of weeks ago, but he was, when he just went off as well, what did he get?
Bonkers.
35, 40 points, something like that.
I mean, let's do some rough maths on this. Let's break out the calculator, right? So, if, say 350 yards is 14 points, and say 3 touchdowns is another 12, that's 28. 4 touchdowns pushes him over 30. So, what sort of number in that range do you want to settle on? That's sort of between 28 and 32, depending on the touchdowns. Where do you sort of want to stick your over-under at?
Well, I mean, we play in a 6-point touchdown game as well, so it's a little bit more. But he's also got legs. So I reckon he might get a couple of rushing yards in there too.
This sounds like a 30-point day.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I would reckon he'd probably get about 34, 35.
And mate, that is just such a start. Like on a Thursday night football game, and this show's going to be out before Thursday night game starts. If you can start with 34 odd points at any position, doesn't that just scream up your fucking ass to the guy you're playing? Like, good luck, mate. Come and get me.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was me last week with Jonathan Taylor with 49 points.
Before you even wake up, you get up for the 5 o'clock games, you're like, okay, nice work, JT. Nice work.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, I think Drake will have a good game.
Fucking love it.
Especially they're a division rival as well, so they're not just going to go easy.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. Drake May was literally my quarterback pick. It's so funny because it never came up, and I don't know if it was knowing Josh's allegiance to the Pats that made me sort of lean that way. What I did have though was I've kind of got a pivot option, and it's actually going to leak into running back as well. I kind of had a running back situation that I was looking at, but I decided to change it because I was going Drake May. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pivot essentially 2 positions because he's taken Drake May. So I know technically we don't force ourselves to change because we're fine taking 2 of the same guy. But what I will do is I'm actually going to take Justin Herbert at quarterback against the Jags. They're 27th against quarterback. Like Drake May, Herbert's running and rushing a lot. I feel like this is the kind of matchup that Herbert's going to be able to take advantage of. He's got all 4 of his pass catches. I just think in general, he's set up for fantasy success. I know you want for your quarterback, you want to be rushing the ball well, and I know Vidal's a bit iffy, but the fact that they don't have an amazing rushing attack means a lot of it has to go through Justin Herbert. So I think with those passing weapons at his disposal, and the Jags' defense has been a lot better than I thought it would have been at the start of the year, but they still seem to be getting beaten in the air. So I think Herbert's going to have a pretty good game here against this team ranked 27th against quarterbacks. So I had him as a top 6 quarterback this week. But I think I kind of wanted to put a number in passing yards because I felt like that's where I believe that they're going to beat the Jags at. So I'm going to give him 280 and top 6.
Woo. The Jags, my area of specialty. We've been missing Walker and Devin Lloyd, who had that 100-yard running away intercept touchdown against the Chiefs, is where people will remember him from. We've been missing him since that game, and our defense has not been what it was in those first 5-6 weeks. So while I think, totally pick on the Jags defense, and after watching us throw away a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter last week, oh my God! The only thing that concerns me is a West Coast team travelling east to play the early window. That's the only thing that bothers me about it. But, I mean, you could not pick a better team to do that against because we're depleted, mate.
I actually tipped the Jags. So this isn't something that the Chargers are definitely going to win. I don't know. I think there could be some points in this one. I just feel like Herbert's in for a pretty decent fantasy day. But like we always know, that doesn't always guarantee success in the actual real NFL. So, I just think like Drake May, that Josh already brought up, the fact he can use his legs and get out and run definitely helps as well.
Man, I'm also going to stick with a game down that East Coast, and I want to see Baker at the Bills going through up a big old day. I don't know terribly many people who Baker Mayfield isn't their second favourite player to watch at the moment, because everyone's got their favourite player. So if he's not your second favourite player, it's because he's your first favourite player. I've got him for 25 plus fantasy points against the Bills, because the Bills defense doesn't scare anybody. And after they got shirt fronted by Miami too, I think that they'll be out to score some points, which, Baker's finally going to throw up some points, and I love his grit and determination, so I took him for 25 plus. Hey, Tay, I'm going to throw to you to pick the next position. We've been through quarterback. Where do you want to go next?
I might as well touch on running back. So what I've done is another little daily double. So with one of them, I was not going to use him if I'd taken Drake May. So I'm going to take Travion Henderson against the Jets at running back. So I was going to sort of not. I kind of didn't feel like taking breakouts at quarterback and running back sort of made sense, because it kind of feels like one. I know Henderson gets involved in the passing game, so it could technically be a stack, but I feel like if you're taking, touchdowns off each other, then it kind of silly taking both of them in the breakouts. But I'm going to take Henderson here against the Jets, who are they're 18th against the position at fantasy, but they're 25th against the in terms of rushing yards given up to running backs. So that's the stat I kind of like to look at, because I feel like it's more predictive than fantasy scores, because obviously, sometimes that's luck, sometimes that's because of touchdowns and stuff like that. And the thing is, Josh already brought it up, they lost their best rush defender. He's gone to Dallas, and I just think in general this defense is kind of just giving up. I think they've just traded everyone away. I think this could be a very good game for the Pats offense. So I've gone with Henderson against the Jets, but I've also taken Jalen Warren against the Bengals, who are last against the running back position and last in yards to the running back position. So fantasy and yards. It's just a bit of a daily double there. So what I actually did was, not only did I give a touchdown guarantee to both, I'm saying that they combined for 3 touchdowns between the two of them. And I think that they both have 80-plus yards on the ground.
Ooh. Touchdowns guarantee. You know what happens when you give the touchdown guarantee, Tay? You've got to ring the bell.
So
bell goes off in the background.
1.5 touchdown guarantee, because they're going to destroy them.
I'm not quite sure how to do that with the bell. So, okay, we'll work something out. But this has got a level of patriotism to it. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Tay's saying. Well, I'm hoping that what Tay's saying is going to be right. But, there's been plenty of media coming out about how Vrabes hasn't been keen to play Henderson. But I think now he doesn't really have a choice with Ramondre out for another week. The running back room on the Pats is very thin at the moment. So you may as well lean on your best player a little bit more. And you could see last week, it was very obvious. He's definitely not the best player to sort of push through the middle. Put him on the edge and he'll just turn the Jets on and off he goes.
Not a bruiser. He's more like a Jimmy Gibbs.
Absolutely.
A chain like that.
Yeah.
He's just fast. He's just fucking fast.
I mean, when you got enough time, when you got enough speed to sort of slow down and look at the sideline to ask whether you crossed for the touchdown or not. Not bad.
Can I do this? I was going to say too, Matty C, shout out to Supercoach. I've made a decision just before we came on the podcast. I am sitting both Derrick Henry and Saquon and playing Henderson in my Supercoach lineup, and I'm vice captaining him. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going all in.
Oh my God. Like, I understand that having to sit one of the big five that you had. And so I get Derrick Henry being that one because he kind of sucked balls the last time they played Cleveland. But, mate, to sit another one, to sit Saquon, who's been your, like, I refuse to move on from this guy, to put Travion Henderson. Mate, I understand the gravity of that decision. I do.
It's literally Saquon has the second worst running back matchup and Henry has, like, the worst. So, actually, sorry, the worst would be against the Pats. I think it's second and third. The worst matchup. So I just went, you know what, I'm going all in. Like, I'm sitting like 3,000th in season rank anyway. Let's just really put my balls through on the table and just have a crack. And the thing was, I was gonna have to like vice captain Allen and then take a shot on another like random player that isn't a quarterback to captain. So I'm like, you know what, I'd rather just take an early vice captain and then just captain my quarterback anyway. So let's go.
Mate, let's go. That's mental. Absolutely mental. So, give me that recap. I've got Henderson with a touchdown and a half. And who was the other? We spent a lot of time on him. Who was the other?
Jalen Warren.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, Jalen Warren. That Steelers backfield, I just don't know how the Bengals stop anything. so I like that. Mate, and a touchdown and a half each. We'll ring the bell and then we'll ring part of it again. How about that? 3 touchdowns combined.
So technically, I didn't. Well, actually, I was about to say 3. One could get 3, but I actually gave a touchdown guarantee to both. So they actually have to score 1 each.
They have to score 1 each. Can't have 3 and 0. They at least one of them. They at least each have to cross once.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. I like that. One of these days I'm going to have a go at one of these exotic bets that you put up. I never do it. I'm straight 180. I just come with the guy on a number.
Like I said, I was going Drake May and just Warren, and then I was like, you know, I've got a contingency plan, so I'll do something stupid if someone takes Drake May.
And there you go. Making Tay do stupid things. Josh, we love this. We love this.
No one needs to help me to do stupid things, Matty.
I've known you long enough to know that's true, mate. I really do. Josh, I want to hear about your running back, knowing that you've already gone with the Patriots player here. Have you doubled down? Has Tay taken one of you guys, or you're looking further afield, mate?
No, I'm sort of touched on it before. The Packers versus Eagles game last week was just, that was the most boring game I think I've ever seen in my life. And I mean,
were you alive on Thursday to watch the fucking Broncos and the Raiders? Were you born after that?
Yeah, the bookends were just the bookends of last week were disgraceful.
Last game, oh my God.
But I'm actually going to go with Josh Jacobs. I think they're playing the Giants this week, and yeah, I just reckon that the Giants are a sieve for running backs. And he's just going to tear it up. I think he's probably going to score, I reckon, probably 25, 30 points comfortably. And I'm expecting over 100 yards.
Love the touchdown.
I mean, and look, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns is 22, straight out of the gate. So if he does any receiving work, he goes even a minuscule bit over 100, that gets you 25, and I love that because I didn't have the balls to say that. I took Josh Jacobs against the Giants for 20, so now I feel like I'm just going to up the ante and join you on 25, mate. I feel like that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, Packers have slim receiver rooms as well, who are just very inconsistent.
Pete Neal would take issue with that, mate.
Okay, they've got a receiver
7
room.
wide receiver ones, okay?
They've got plenty
Did you
of wide
fucking see Bo Melton this week? He drops the ball like nobody I've ever seen. He's amazing.
So, I reckon they're just going to give it to him the entire time. He's just going to go straight through the middle of the Giants' D-line. And
they pretty much did last week.
Rumble it through, yeah.
He scores a touchdown every week.
Every week. I think there's been 1 week this year where he hasn't had a touchdown.
The only question is whether he scores 2 or not.
And I mean, it's the Giants, so yes. The question is, does he score 3? I'm in full agreement with you here, Joshy. I'd written the exact same guy down. All I needed to do was settle on a number, and I'd sort of speculated 3 out of 20. But, mate, if you've said 25, I'm coming with you. I'm going to throw in a 25 as well.
Awesome.
I'm going to pick the third round here, and I'm going to introduce the tight end. And this is because I've taken Baker. I want to stack that bitch up, and I want to talk about Kate Otten in the same game at the Bills. When the team is a little light on receiving targets, this is where Kate Otten kind of tends to just be a nice little absorber of some of those targets. I know that Chris Godwin has been back at training this week. I don't expect him to go full tilt this week, which means it's still going to be Igbuka, Tez Johnson, for fuck's sake, and probably Kate Otten are going to be the 3 places where the ball might go, plus a little sprinkling of Sterling Shepard and whatever part of the Sterling Shepard role that Chris Godwin's going to take up. I just took Kate Otten for 14 points. It says to me, you'll get some catches, you'll get some yards, probably a touchdown, and that's what you want in a little stack, is you want the quarterback to be passing it to the guy who's receiving it, score that touchdown twice. So I'm aiming at that one. Anyone think that that's a bit nuts?
No, he's been my favourite target for any league I've got Warren in. I was lucky enough to draft Tyler Warren in a fair few leagues, and so this one's been one of those weeks where I've needed to find a waiver wire pick up, and Kate Otten's kind of been my favourite one because he's available, and like you said, when there's not really a lot of other guys around, he seems to just absorb targets, and Baker seems to really look for him. So, absolutely no problem with it.
Yeah, I think after watching last week's game, a little bit closer, obviously. It was pretty obvious that Baker uses Kate Otten for those sort of checkdowns, uses Igbuka and Tez to sort of open up the field a little bit, and then, Cade's just sort of sitting around right on that the 4th down line, just to get over that. And I think that Baker's going to use him a lot more going forward, just for the security for those shorter sort of yardages.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like where I'm backing in Baker, it would be silly not to back in somebody in his passing group, and to me, Otten kind of feels like the one who, at 14, that's a good day out for tight end. That might be tight end 3 on the week, the way tight ends score. So without getting too crazy, 14 is probably a fair number to sort of put as my over-under and say, well, I'm going over that. Anything above that is a good day out, and I like to take credit for anything he does beyond 14. That sounds like something Taylor would set up, so when he gets 26, I can go, yeah, I said so. Does that sound... No, it doesn't sound like you at all. Hey, Josh, you got a tight end you want to share with the group? Did you bring a tight end today?
Yeah, I did. So,
I want someone off us every time so far. Let's see if you can go through from 3.
What's
Come
that,
on,
sorry?
let's go.
Let's see if you can pick the other again.
I'm going to go for Jake Ferguson, Dallas Cowboys.
Freaking licious definition, make the book.
They've just come off the bye. He had a pretty average couple of weeks before the bye, but the first half of the season, the first third of the season, he was putting up some good numbers.
He was.
And they're playing Las Vegas.
Ever.
He was tight end 1 for a period of a couple of weeks there, and this Vegas team they're not amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the Vegas team are still defensively. I think they're pretty good, but I think they're going to be focusing too much on Pickens and Lamb, so it's going to give you a really good opportunity for Ferguson just to sort of find the ball, or Dak to find him, and just sort of trundle his way up the field once he gets the ball.
Yep, catch, turn north. That's it. See whatever yards you can get after that. That's the Ferguson game.
Yeah.
I mean, Tay, we've been big believers of Ferguson for a very long time. When he was still second in that tight end room behind Schultz, when he was a Cowboy, we were all over him then. And he's really blossomed in this wonderful player, and it's kind of great to see him having this year. And now that he's come off a sort of a lean week and the bye week, you feel pretty good about his prognosis. So I love Josh's call here.
He's right. They are going to focus on the wide receiver room, so there should be some some dump offs. You and I have talked about the Raiders seem to be pretty shit against the position a lot. So,
since 1989, they've been terrible. Not a single year have they been good against the tight end since then.
And we know Dak's just going to air it out, and there's going to be a lot of passing volume. So, yeah, I like it.
Oh, we love that. Where do you want to set a fantasy points line on him? Do you think there's a certain number you want to stick your chin out for?
I think it's pretty hard. I mean, you look back at some of his points through the first half of the year. I mean, he's got 20, he's got 18, but he's sort of averaging around that sort of 14, 15 sort of point.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to copy you and, just go for 14 points, I think.
Yeah. I think that's fair too. Like, tell you, if I knew going in my week that I could probably expect 14 out of my tight end in PPR, I'm a happy chappy.
You fucking laugh. Like, the position sucks ass. So the
prick I'm playing probably can't get 14 out of his tight end. So I feel good.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's such a position, mate. Like 14's great. That is a break, yeah.
It is, mate. What are you doing with your tight end, brother?
I'm stacking that bitch up too, and I don't know if this stems again from our Supercoach chat, but I sort of try to talk people out of selling this guy. I think Gadsden is in for a really good game, and I've talked about the Jags. They seem more beatable in the air than the ground. They're 30th against tight ends this year, and it looks completely like he's avoided any kind of like serious or even really any injury at all. Like he's fully practicing already. So,
but mate, one thing about the Jags, right? In 2 straight weeks, we've given up like 1 million points to Brock Bowers 2 weeks ago, where he scored every point, and then all of a sudden we made Dalton Schultz look like a serviceable fantasy tight end for the first time all year. So you could do worse than pick on the Jags when it comes to a tight end. And mate, from what we were talking about yesterday with Oriande Gadsden, mate, this is a perfect spot to want to keep him because the matchup's worthwhile. So for Supercoach, where it's a weekly proposition, you go, do I sell him this week or next? Keep him. But in season-long fantasy, where it's not always just a weekly proposition, and maybe the weekly proposition is, do I start him or sit him because I own him? It's hard for me to say this is a bad call, even though it's against my boys. Because if I was going to pick on my team, this is what I would do. I'd pick on, throw into the tight end.
Yeah, and the fact he's already practicing in full, it just makes me have way more confidence in that injury. They said it was like a bruised quad or something. It just doesn't sound sounds like he completely avoided anything. So I'm kind of going in with confidence in terms of that side.
Mate, teaspoon of cement and a fucking ice pack. Get on with it. That was in
what a waste
in junior sports and when I was a kid in the early 90s, mate. That's how it was.
Such a waste. They wasted a perfectly good MRI on a fucking bruised quad.
Yeah, mate. Gee, to have money to throw away on an MRI for a bruised quad, mate. My insurance isn't that good. Mine just covers me for falling off bikes and breaking collarbones, as you know.
You know how they have done the fake X-ray of Baker and it's got a dog in him? Like it's got a dog in him. I'm like, they're definitely not going to have the dog for Gadsden after he went and got an MRI on a fucking bruised quad.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, give us the Gadsden, the great Gadsden. How many points do you reckon he's going to get against my my sort of feeble middle?
Well, you guys have been pussies with 14, so he's going to score 14.1.
I love this. There's an element of tipping point in that. I reckon you go 28.1 and you're probably on the unders, mate. Just for those playing at home.
2.8, I'd go on it.
Yeah. Josh, we'll wrap this one up by going through our wide receivers. Have you got a wide receiver that you think is going to really just knock a hole in the sky this week, points-wise?
Yeah, I've got Justin Jefferson, Vikings.
Another one.
Mate, can you sing me this entire song? Because I have been so desperate for Justin Jefferson to have the week from heaven. Yeah. The cherubs come down, the shaft of light from the sky illuminating just over his patch of dirt. I've been waiting for it all year. This is it?
Guaranteeing it right now.
Against the Bears. I mean, it'd be magical, wouldn't it? after
Yes.
the poor. Let's just put it out there. That last week against the Ravens was pretty shit. So
Yeah.
and I think JJ McCarthy's finally starting to get a bit of a connection with Jefferson. And I mean, as long as the O-line doesn't get as many false starts, hopefully that should give them a bit more time or working their way up the field. But yeah, I reckon Justin Jefferson. I reckon you'll get close to I'd be happy if you got 80 yards, to be honest, because it's just been so lean for him. 80 yards and a touchdown. So what's that work out to be?
Well, there's 14 points just in that without any catches. So even if you got 10 yards per catch, ends up with about 8 catches. Now we're talking 22. I can get on board with something like that. 22 to 24 points. I could get on board with that.
Yeah, let's say 22.
I'm crying out.
Mate, we again, I feel like we seem to be touching on a lot that we touched on the Super Ghost podcast earlier today, but he was like one of the best traded out guys in that, and then you and I sort of were telling everyone to sort of hold their horses. I kind of like JJ McCarthy a bit in this matchup too. I think the Bears are a bit of a sieve to a lot of places. Their defense just has been struggling. It's they're definitely not a defense I'm concerned about, and obviously at home for the Vikings, I think this could be a get right game for. McCarthy seems to me getting like a little bit more comfortable each game, and he's had some pretty tough matchups, and I think this is a bit of an easier one for him. He also had his best quarter of the year against the Bears in week 1 in his first ever game, so I think this is kind of a get-right game for both of them in a way, so I'm with you. I think Jefferson's in for a very good game this week.
It's about damn time that McCarthy didn't have to play a fucking... His first ever game is Monday Night Football against a divisional rival on the road. And then his next week is Sunday Night Football against another big game. Like, it's time for him to get some game time where he can just go to work and not have the entire universe just drilled in on just what he's doing. And this is kind of why I'm, like, so hopeful for Jefferson all year. Is like, I just kind of expected Wentz could find a way to throw him the ball a few times. McCarthy's doing that. He had 12 targets last week, and 12 targets to Justin Jefferson should get you something. So, when? Mate, now would be great. I've been in the flames with him for so long. Any day now would be fine. And I love that, Josh, you're backing him in. I'm backing you in. I hope he gets 30 points. Fuck it. Let's go for it. I mean, there's no number that's too small for me on this one. I could use it.
Oh, mate,
have you got a...
You're used to using things that are small, mate, so it makes sense.
You're not wrong, mate. It's a lifetime's work right there.
I mean, it's a bit of a silver bullet for me. I'm dying on my sword because the team I'm playing has Justin Jefferson, but...
The emotional thing.
Yeah, it is what it
Probably
is.
it's when you're playing 26 leagues like Tay does. You're playing with Justin Jefferson or against him everywhere. That's just how it is.
You have to do a constant arithmetic of how many leagues you have him in compared to how many you're against, and so that's how you work out whether you want the player to do well. It's like I've got 4 and I'm against him in 3, so I have to accept him going well.
Yeah. So only 18, not 22. You've got to do the maths, right?
Yeah.
Mate, I'm pretty happy to take a big day from him anywhere because it means that I'm probably getting a big day from him somewhere I could damn well use it. So I'm backing you in, mate. Tay, have you got a wide receiver to round the bases here?
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the guy I talked about being a trade for target, and my guy I'm sort of throwing out offers for, and it's Jalen Waddle. Up against the Commanders, who are last against the wide receiver position. I brought up last week, I mean a few of us did, but we really liked the Lions to sort of take care of the Commanders last week. We liked the Lions off a loss. But it was more to do with what I've been watching about the Commanders. They seem so bad at defending the pass at the moment. Like they're okay at defending the run. I know like Jameer Gibbs had a pretty good game, but they weren't too bad against Monty. They were actually pretty good against the running backs the week before against Seattle. It was the air where like Darnold basically just had a perfect game against them, and then Goff was just doing everything he wanted last week, and it just seems super easy to pass on the Commanders at the moment. So I think Waddle's just going to have an absolute field day, even though it's overseas, so anything can happen. But
Yeah, they're in Spain, aren't they?
I think Waddle's just going to find so many spaces in this Commanders secondary. So, yeah, I think he's going to tear him a new arsehole. So, I'm going to go him for a sort of Justin Jefferson like game that we were talking about. But I'm going to go harder. I'm going to go 25.
25.
Yeah.
I love that all our receivers come with pretty much a guaranteed touchdown, right? Because 25 without a touchdown's hard to do. You sort of need the touchdown in there. So I'm gonna ring the bell for you, Tay. Touchdown game.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go. And I like this. I mean, it's one of these things where you kind of got to land where you stick your chin out. And I kind of did the same thing. I know that Jamar Chase exists and that Pittsburgh's secondary doesn't exist. But I still want to just lean on this T. Higgins thing. So I kind of did the same. I came with him as my shot at the stumps and a guy who I want to trade for now. This isn't a terrible matchup at all, but they also continue to get pretty good matchups because the rest of the way down the year they get to face Baltimore's secondary hasn't been fantastic most of the year. They get Buffalo, who aren't scary. The one that they get that's a little tougher is when they play New England in a couple of weeks' time, but you focus on Jefferson. You don't always have to focus on the second receiver as much, and I kind of feel like Higgins is the guy there. But for this specific week, I just wanted to take Higgins for a 20 spot, which, being a second wide receiver, you guys have picked guys who are generally the primary target. I'm taking a second wide receiver for 20, which to me says touchdown guarantee, but also is kind of sticking my neck out. And I'm really hopeful this one comes off because, I mean, I've put trade offers for him in everywhere. So by this time Sunday, I'm kind of hoping I own him in a few more spots than I did today. Yeah,
Joseph F is going to air that thing out. He does not give a flying fuck. So, yeah, I have no problems with this. Any pass catcher really, mainly obviously chasing Higgins, but yeah, I just think in general, with Flacco there, you're always a big chance at having a big game, and their defense still sucks so many assholes.
So much
defense. I mean, them in Dallas are just an absolute fucking disaster. So they're always going to be hot.
Joseph Flat Christ is what we've called him, isn't it?
Me and a different Josh have always put T. Higgins on a spit, so we've always enjoyed a bit of T. Higgins. He's
on a tripod, mate.
He's a super talented player. Like he gets overshadowed by Chase a lot, but I think he's just going.
Oh, he'd be a one on a lot of other teams, and God, he'd be. I don't know how much further ahead of every receiver on my team he'd be. He wouldn't just be a one and be like, what's even better than that? Like 1A plus. So like I kind of love the T. Higgins experience for the rest of the year, but it's going to start now. That's my point. I've taken him for 20 plus. So I'm going to run this down. We've got Josh's breakouts this week. Thank you for playing, by the way. I'm going to run down your breakouts and just get one final word from you on your four and how bulletproof you feel about them. Got Drake May versus the New York Jets, Thursday Night Football, 34 plus points at quarterback. Up yours to start the week with a 34 spot. I love that. Josh Jacobs at the Giants with 25 points because the Giants are a fucking asshole of a defense against the run. Fergie Ferg versus Las Vegas on the Monday night for 14 plus points. And then Jay Jettis, Justin Jefferson versus Chicago. Terrible defense, 24 plus points. It's a touchdown guarantee. Ring the bell. Josh, how do you feel about your breakouts this week?
I mean, most people probably wouldn't see them as breakouts. Josh Jacobs, Drake May, they've just been consistent all season. But I think this week they're, leading up before, bit of time before the playoffs start, I really think that they're going to, just go nuts. They've got the opportunity. They've got a really good base, both Jacobs and May. And like you said, they're playing arse defenses. So,
yep.
Let's go.
We love.
Chef's
what we love. Let's go.
Jeff's ass kiss.
And that's going to be the grab to ass defenses with a big Josh giving a thumbs up. AI is going to love making that image, mate. Tay, your breakouts, and of course, you've got a little Tiger King gone a bit exotic here. You've got Josh Herbert at the Jags, a top 6 quarterback, at least 280 yards passing, and because the Jags middle and the secondary is not so great, we're gonna go straight to your stack too with Oronde Gadsden in the same game, 14.1 points because we all said 14 for our tight ends.
If it's 14, it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's probably 14. 14.05.
Agreed, mate. And then Jalen Waddle versus Washington in España, 25 plus points. Let's throw in a touchdown guarantee for him. Ring that bell. Then what do we do with running backs? Oh, it's only Travion Henderson against the Jets in that horrible Jets defense, but also why not tag on Jaylen Warren? He was going to be a pivot against Cincinnati. So we'll throw them both in and say between them, they've got to get 3 touchdowns and they each have to at least be responsible for one of them each. So 3 total touchdowns between Jaylen Warren at Cincinnati and Travion Henderson versus the Jets. Mate, how do you feel about your 5 breakouts?
Fantastic, Matty C. No chance of losing. Just perfect picks, mate. Just anyone listening, guaranteed. I can see the future.
He's an oracle. Matty C trying to be an oracle over here. We've really probably across the whole group had one week where we've hit a majority, where all of us have hit at least 2 or more of the things. Because, we're talking about generally really good players or really juicy matchups or both. But we're also not throwing, he'll score at least 6 points. We're putting big numbers on him. So this is kind of what I like about this segment. Baker at the Bills, 25 plus points. Throwing Kate Otten for good measure at the Bills, 14 plus. So there we go. We've got 40 points between those guys practically there. I'm teaming up with Josh. This guy talks a lot of sense when he says Josh Jacobs at the Giants. I originally had him written down for 20. No. Josh says 25. I say 25. And then we went with T. Higgins. My shot at the stumps for the rest of the year starts now at Pittsburgh, 20 plus points with a touchdown guarantee. Ring the bell. They are our breakouts for this week. And I've had a heap of fun with that segment. But, mate, it only paves the way to bring in a segment that is catching on across Australia like nothing else. It's time to play the tipping point. And Tate, last week on the tipping point, what the fuck? You actually won this damn segment. What's going on here?
It's a weird feeling, Matty C. To be fair, the scoreboard was not helped by the buddy Kev coming in or anyone coming in and buddy being me. That buddy screwed me. The 3 weeks I was away, I lost all 3, but it is what it is. I have to wear that. So, like, in terms of my weeks, I'm down, 5-3 or something, or 4-3, I don't know. Anyway.
7-3.
So how does that work? Didn't I miss 3 weeks?
Yeah, but we're 10 weeks in, so you've won 3, which means you've lost the rest. So you take 3 off 10.
I was just saying the scoreboard when I'm actually doing it was 4-3. So if I lost all 3 when I wasn't here, then that's why it's 7-3. So screw you guys.
Okay.
But anyway, it is what it is.
Okay.
I did say that I'm still technically, mathematically alive to turn this thing around. So, you know what? 1 week at a time, Matty C.
Okay, well, and 1 week you've done it, mate. You did it with Lamar Jackson being unders on 26 points. He goes and throws up 16, where Courts took 26 and over. Bijan Robinson against the Indianapolis Colts in that game across in Berlin. Courts had an 8.5. He goes and throws up only 10. Nico Collins had a bunch of points for Courts against my Jags, so he took the over on that and won that one. And then Dalton Kincaid, you actually took 9 or over in the game against Miami, and he only had 5.7. So at that point, we're going into Monday Night Football 2 each, and, just because 13 and more was the line for Courts on A.J. Brown, you picked that one up because he comes under. So, Tay, you take the 3 points to 2 in one of our closest all year. We've very rarely gone to 3-2. It's generally been 4-1, and we've even had a 5-0 along the way as well. So you pick that one up, and you must be feeling pretty good about getting some runs on the board first week back.
Yeah, like I'm looking at Josh now. He's rattled. He doesn't know what he's in for. He's going to set shit lines, and he doesn't want any piece of this. So I'm going to get another win here, Matty. See, I can feel it.
Mate, any time I can see Take kind of cop a little bit of adversity. I don't mind it. He's got a fair bit of adversity if he's come back from the weeks where 3 other people sunk his season. But Josh, I feel like you wouldn't mind piling on. I kind of feel like you're here for the good guys.
Yeah, I mean, anyone against Tay, really, isn't it?
It really is. The world.
What's Tay versus the fucking world? Not Tay versus 16 people. It's Tay versus the fucking world.
I know, but it kind of feels like that in all my leagues anyway.
Yeah.
So it's very.
We get people's best shot, don't we? This is the problem when you stick your chin out and you make yourself a bit of a public figure with fantasy. People go, I'm fucking coming after you, mate. I'm hoping that you really fucking go after him. The way this segment works, and Josh, I know that you'd spend a little bit of time getting ready for this one, is that I'm going to bring up a player at each of the positions we just went through for breakouts: a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and then I'm going to bring in a mystery mate, a player at a 5th position, unknown, until I bring it up. Say?
Oh, I was just saying, a mystery Devon, a mystery spam. It could be anything.
Yeah, can of spam, spicy treat, spicy, salty treat at the end. What I do here too is that 5th player, I mean, you don't know who any of these guys are, but all you know is that they're going to be a player, you're going to know their matchup, and you're going to know roughly where they are performing on the season in the information I give you. The rest you kind of have to bring with you. All make sense?
Yeah, let's go.
Nice. Because I'm coming to you first, mate. Coming in hot. First player, I mentioned him in the breakout segment. Baker Mayfield at the Bills. He's currently quarterback 11 on the season. And you saw him last week off his bye. He looked like he was doing everything he can to try and get a team a win. He's got nothing but grit and determination. He's playing at the Bills as well, on the road. What do you think for Baker Mayfield? Where do you want to start the bidding on points in a standard 10-team league for Baker Mayfield at the Bills?
I'm just going to start pretty low, pretty conservative, because he has been up and down, very up and down. So I'm just going to say 16 to start with.
Okay.
17.
18. Do we just go 1 for 1, or we just keep going?
It's odd.
1, you can jump at 3 if you want. You can go in tenths of a point. You can, however you like.
We got 18.5.
No, I reckon you can go higher than that. You know what? I'm going to bump it up to 20.
20.5.
At the Bills, so he's on the road.
Yeah, on the road.
Terrifying.
It's starting to get pretty cold up there as well.
But it's not the Rams, so...
No, but I mean, it is a Florida team getting up there. So
20.5 is our standing number. What do you do?
20.5? Nah, let's go up to 21.5.
I'll be honest. I was very close to going out at 20, and I was trying to play the man. I was like, he seemed a little bit more confident than I was, so I chucked in a 0.5, hoping he'd go again. I was worried he was going to catch me out. I'm gonna pull out at 21.5.
I thought you were going to bail too, Josh, and Tay was going to be left holding the baby at 20.5. He's currently, I 10 minutes ago was talking about 25 plus, so I get why maybe that might also brainwash a little bit of the confidence in the guy, because he's currently he's only projected for 19 points in sleep scoring.
I mean, I think he's got the arm strength for Buffalo if it's windy as well.
100%.
And as we mentioned before, K. Dalton, I think he's going to check it down to him, and he's going to make some good points with him.
Like standards with the 4-point passing touchdowns, it just bodes me when it gets into that early 20s. It's that bit high. Like it starts to get in the territory of like needing it to almost be like Lamar and Allen for me to be confident. So yeah, it's just often I'll take the under in that.
20 points is 302 touchdowns in a standard scoring league, and that's kind of why I like 20-ish. I try and find a player around the 20-ish mark, because it does get people going, Is he going to get the 300? Is he going to get a third touchdown? And that's kind of where you sort of see that iffiness and where people will be strident or where people will be nervous. And over the time, I've sort of developed that you can hear where Tay's nervous, but also try and pick a player who should make Tay nervous.
Baker can get out and rush sometimes too, which obviously will help him as well.
He's a psycho. I love him.
He is.
That guy. And what I love about American football players, and even locally, amateur American football players here in Canberra, you can walk over to them after a game and say, "Mate, nice game. You're a psycho." And they'll look you right in the eye and go, "Thanks, mate." Like, it's just something that's baked in them.
And take an X-ray of that guy. He's got the dog in him.
I've seen quite a full-on dog, a whole dog. Tay, I'm going to go to you with a player. I don't know if you think he's got the dog in him or not, but he scored a butt ton of points in fantasy football recently. His name's Jahmyr Gibbs. He now goes to the Eagles to play in a big primetime matchup on Sunday night. Wouldn't surprise you to know he's running back 4 in the year, would it?
Nope. I think it's pretty much where you drafted him and pretty much where you expected him. Like it's funny because I would almost guarantee that that's sort of where he'd finish, but then I would probably always say he's not going to be running back 1 unless Monty got injured. It's weird, like he's almost guaranteed to be in the top 5, but I would have pretty much always never said his ceiling is 1. Like, I don't think he's ever going to be the Jonathan Taylor that breaks out super high like Barkley did last year unless Monty went down. So he just always is going to have off games because Monty gets the touchdowns, and then he just has absolute games. So he kind of evens it out on a 4 or 5 every year. Yeah,
well, here is at running back 4. He's now against a relatively stout Eagles defense, although we saw Jacobs put Benz in that defensive line this week, score a touchdown. What do you do with Jahmyr Gibbs? You're going to open the bidding on him at the Eagles Sunday Night Football. Let's go.
I'm going to say 13.
I'm going to go 15, straight up. Pop it up a little bit.
Nice.
I'll say 16.
I think Philly's run defense isn't quite where it should be against someone as quick as Gibbs. I reckon we can go 17.
Give me 18.
Yeah, you can have that.
I like the matchups for Gibbs where the rush defense is actually better. If Jalen Carter's there, he's good at stopping the run. But I think that hurts Monty more. I kind of like some of these matchups. Like even last week, Washington's worse against the pass than they are the run. And then I think that actually helped Gibbs because they felt like they had to use him more. Like I think if you look at the snaps, it wasn't like they used him way more than Monty, but he was just way more effective. And I wonder if him getting on the outside against the Eagles, and this might be the kind of game where they're down against the Eagles in Philly. So I just wonder if Gibbs might be just super involved in the passing game and Monty plays a little bit less. But I don't know. I just trust Gibbs. I like him in that number. So.
I mean, May got him a little bit of a bargain too because currently in sleeper scoring, he's projected for 20.8. So to get him at 18 might feel pretty good.
Good stuff. The world's struggling.
Okay, so Tay feels like he's got some confidence here. Josh, I feel like it's time to put him back in his box, mate. I'm not talking about the guy who I'm having a shot at stumps with. I've actually gone the other player in this offense, and I'm going with Ja'Marr Chase, only one of the greatest wide receivers to ever be a wide receiver, to whisper the words wide receiver. He's going up against a abhorrent secondary for the Steelers, where even Justin Herbert, with the cavalcade of weird pieces that they're calling an offensive line there, gave him time to make players on his offense relevant, and we're only talking about Ja'Marr Chase. So I've got him currently, it's wide receiver, he's wide receiver 4 in sleeper standard scoring at the moment. What do you think for Ja'Marr Chase? This is a great chance to just shove one up Taylor, mate.
Yeah, I'm just going to reach for the ceiling. I reckon he's going to get close to 19. straight away.
Straight out of the gate.
That's I reckon that's pretty easy for him.
Straight out of the gate, Tay.
20.
Right to 19. What do you do?
Ooh,
20.
20.5.
21.
You're quick to respond, Tay. I feel like you're pretty confident.
Hungry.
So,
He's hungry or stupid? You
Yeah.
choose.
I would like to emotionally hedge against my Kelly Cup team with too much X in it, but got to play the game, you know.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's go. What'd you say? 21?
21, yeah.
21.5. I'll go a little bit more.
I'm going to go 22.1.
Savvy.
Nah, I reckon he's got more in him. Let's go 22 or 23. Sorry, because yeah, I'll tell you why in a minute. What my thinking behind it is.
23.8.
This is amazing.
23.8. Oh, that's yeah. Nah, you can have that one.
Yes. Let's go.
I need to hear the thinking, though. You've given us this, like, foreskin of that, I've got a bit of thinking. I need to tell you that in a second.
Oh, I reckon
Behind the curtain, mate.
Joseph Burrow is coming back in a couple of weeks. I reckon Joe Flacco is going to try and prove himself to get himself another contract somewhere else. Old man time just never kills him. But I also think he's going to share it around a bit. Not necessarily give it all to Jamar.
Well, I'm in on Higgins. So, Tay's got his 23.8. Mate, he's currently projected for 18.8 in Sleeper. So, you might have actually pushed Tay way over and made him overpay by a significant amount. Or he goes and throws a 43 and we all look like morons. One of the two.
That's the other option.
The middle.
He's got back. He's definitely got beaten. It's the matchup for me. Like, the Steelers get, like, just torched by... They lost some secondary players last week, too, in that game. I don't know if they're still out. I think it was Slay and someone else. But, yeah, I don't know. I just don't trust that Pittsburgh secondary at all. They get beaten deep all the time. And, it could happen with Higgins more so than Chase. But, yeah, I just think it's a perfect matchup for him.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh secondary is arse. Mate, I'm going to move straight to you, Tay, and this is a tight end who I know that you love. And when you mentioned him on the Supercoach podcast this week, I'm like, I'm glad I've got him as my breakout tight end because I feel like he's going to really drive this one home. I've gone and taken a tight end against the Cardinals. He's tight end 30 on the year. His name's George Kittle, and he has been largely shittle. But is it redemption time? What do you want to do with George Kittle, mate?
Oh, another Kelly Cup special. Another me in my Kelly Cup team. All right, we'll start it. Give it a time. We'll start it at 9.5.
Let's go 10.5.
I want to go up to 12.
I reckon 12.3.
12.9.
My question is, who's throwing it to him? Who do we think is going to throw it to him?
Probably Purdy. Purdy. He's the one who's got a projection next to him in most of the apps this week, and he's been trending towards playing.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was like they waited till they lost. It was like they were just like holding Purdy out as long as possible, and they were just letting Matt keep playing until they lost.
It's going to suck when they lose this week, then, isn't it?
What were we up to?
12.9.
12.5?
12.9.
12.7.
12.9 is
okay,
where we're at. Sorry, 12.9. 13.1.
Yep.
Look at you guys edging each other.
I know. 13.7.
You can have it. Got him.
Yeah.
Boom! Yes, got him gone.
Hashtag Kittle's biggest fan.
It's always hilarious. You're just praying that they say something else and you just want to say, I'm out so fast, like a little baker.
Yeah, boom, hit that number, and he's like, I'm just done. And Tay, you might have got a cheapie here. He's projected for 14.1, which, when you look at his body of work this season, kind of feels like that's probably a bit rich for a projection. But, mate, if people are seeing it the way you're seeing it, you're still talking up how you think this is kind of a week where, just knowing that it's likely to be Purdy, and the Cardinals, again, kind of... No, it's one of these things where they're congenitally unable to defend against a tight end, and kind of always have been. They're kind of the Raiders of the NFC in that respect. So I never mind bullying up against the Cardinals with the tight end.
Yeah. My thing's saying reconnecting again, so I don't know if it's going to fuck up again. So just keep talking, and then if I bail, then just act like nothing about it.
You sound great. You sound great. Our last one, the mystery meat. Our friend in the spam tin. I'm going Superflex. And I like that we're doing this. I had picked this before we even knew, Josh, that your home league is Superflex. It kind of makes me feel like you're kind of weirdly positioned to just fucking take this one by the balls and ram it down Taylor's throat. I'm going to you first, and I'm going to go to the Monday Night Football game where you've already got Fergie Ferg. I want to talk about the guy supplying Fergie Ferg. What do you reckon about Dak Prescott, quarterback 10 on the year at Las Vegas, Monday night? Where do you want to start the bidding, mate?
Let's start at 14.
Straight out the gate.
Start low.
I want to go up to 16.
16. Let's go 16.9.
17.8.
You can have that one too.
Wow,
I don't think he's gonna. I don't know. I just don't know. Even though I
The two touchdowns to Fergie and then he's out? Is that it? Just two touchies to Fergie? And then
I don't know. I just don't think.
Then nothing else.
Coming off a bye week is.
Then he's going to fumble it.
I have a feeling he's going to get hurt, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so rare we've had someone project the idea of injury into why they've capped a player.
I just think he's been pretty solid this season. He has been bumped around a fair bit.
A lot of wobbles in the last 2 weeks in fantasy, to be honest. Before his bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a bit wobbly.
He also hasn't looked as good, in real NFL, the last couple of weeks. There's been something off. So, yeah, I don't know if he comes back to what he was doing in the first 5.
Yeah, I think that, what's his name? Pete Carroll. I reckon Pete Carroll's got his measure. Hasn't had anyone else's measure this season, but...
Yeah.
If Trevor Lawrence can go in there and play his flu game against the Raiders, then surely Dak after a bye is fine, right? Come on. I kind of feel like Tamo got a free one here. It's 17.8 was where I took that one, Tay. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah, my hope for that over is that Geno can score against Dallas, which I think he probably can.
I think he can.
Sucks. So the hope is that they keep up and that it's a bit of a shootout style. So yeah, he's got Lamb off a bye. Should be as healthy as he's been. Pickens has been awesome as the wide receiver too. Our boy Fergie Ferg. Yep, I'm happy with 17.8.
I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Javonte Williams a bunch this game too. Just run it straight off the guts.
That would be the concept. Yeah. If he just has 3 rushing touchdowns, then fucks it all. But again,
Kelly had extra time, but they ran it 40 times. 40 rushing attempts. against a running back rushing attempts against the Raiders. And understanding they had a fifth quarter to do that in, but it kind of shows that that's a spot where you don't mind balling up against the Raiders. And that said, though, weirdly, then the Broncos had a tough time doing that last week at home against the travelling Las Vegas Raiders. So, I don't know, they're kind of bag question marks. But Dak at Las Vegas, he was projected at 19.7, so I kind of feel like he got a little bit of a chibi. And, mate, I want to just dispel, right now, House Falls on a Wicked Witch kind of level of dispel this from now on. You have been sort of famously pessimistic in this segment. You have got 4 overs this week. You've taken the over on Jameer Gibbs at the Eagles, Jamar Chase at the Steelers, George Kittle at the Cardinals, now Dak at the Raiders. All these guys on the road, by the way. All 5 matchups, people who are on the road. You've got 4 overs. Who are you? And what have you done with Taylor?
Don't know. I've just locked him in. I've locked him in the fucking closet, and I'm just some weird bloke. But I mean, Taylor's a weird bloke as well. But yeah, mate, I've changed my tune. You know what? Things weren't working. Let's go the overs, baby. Let's go.
Dr. Good Call, is that you? Dr. Good Call?
No.
I feel like Tay's getting a bit of a freebie this week too, to be honest. Because like we touched on the beginning, I'm still getting my head around all this. So if you don't win Tay, that's embarrassing.
Oh no! It's he's throwing he's doing my game against me. The white flag.
He's going the white flag. He's going the Manjot Melly white flag. It's like, oh, the first penalty of the game's against the 49ers. Well, fuck, the 49ers are fucked. Oh, if they don't beat us from here, Josh is 100% Manjot Melly.
I am famous in my league with my brother and like everyone in the Kelly Cup for being the white flag guy, and I promise everyone in that league that compared to Manjot Melly, I am not even like in the same stratosphere of him for fucking doing white flags. Like it's like not even close. Like that guy will white flag 2 seconds into a game.
This is why the reverse jinx works so often, is because he is so fast to sell his team. But then he claims a reverse jinx if they don't.
He like reverses. He like reverse jinxes his team.
Oh yeah,
like he like reverse jinxes, and then he reverses on that jinx, and like it's just an idea.
I love that guy because you remember the first time I interviewed him, he was a super fan of our old Astro League podcast, and we talked about the Super Bowls he'd watched since he had started watching American football, and in 70% of them, I reckon he said he cheered for both teams. So that kind of tells you where that's up to. That he kind of feels confident being right. I love him like a brother, though. He's hilarious. And, mate, we're going to have him through the show in a couple of weeks' time, too, because he kind of sees himself as, like, the closer for the world. Like, he's like Mariano Rivera coming in to, like, ice out the game for the Yankees for world. He's kind of sees himself as that guy when it comes to the starts of the week segment. So I'm looking forward to having him in soon, because it sounds like we're going to need him to start the catch-up, because, Tay, you're miles ahead in that segment, and we're going to need Manjot's his expertise.
This is like Rivera coming out with the Yankees down 13-0.
Yeah. Enter Sandman.
Let's send
Enter fucking Sandman.
Close.
Strike it. When he comes into, I'm going to play that as his entrance music. That's what's going to happen. He's going to be Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
The other player in this segment we had was Baker at the Bills. He's currently projected for 19 points, and Josh has taken the over at 21.5. Mate, I am going to love when Taylor's got a bunch of egg on his face. He's down 8-3, and you get to leave this segment holding the belt above your head like a world champion. I'm going to fucking love that.
That'd be lovely.
Cannot wait. Mate, that brings us to the end of a Friday show that's been a bunch of fun. We've been through a whole bunch of our breakouts for the week. We've also been through our tipping point, and earlier than that, we also got to know a bit about Josh and his path through fantasy football. And even earlier than that, there were recaps on all of our fan leagues as well. Plus, if you guys, Tay and I, are having shots at the stumps at, do not forget to join us for the Sunday show. We've got a very special segment to run Josh through. It's not just the mailbag, it's not just starts of the week, but we're looking forward to also running those through. Hey Josh, you've survived it, yet looking forward to coming back for Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, good to hear, mate. Tay, do you reckon he's going to handle it? It's been a heck of a baptism so far.
I don't know. Based off that performance in a tipping point, I don't know if he's ready for Sunday, mate. But we'll give him another shot.
We'll see.
Be
We'll
nice.
see. And you're going to see too. We'll get back here on the Sunday show. Of course, you caught G'day Gridiron early in the week. They did a great job with their midweek show. They always do, and they preview the Thursday night football game. We on the Sunday show. We also hear them do the games that they've got to watch for the Sunday slate. Plus, they preview the Monday night football game. We are back on Sunday to do the most famous segment we do. Plus, dive into the mailbag. Looking forward to having Josh with us. In the meantime, fellas, catch everything that we do on Linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network, and we'll see you all on Sunday. Hooroo!
Hooroo, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thanks, Jez.
Wow.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Thanks to the Aussie Gridiron Network, Australia's home for NFL and Australian gridiron content. Discover everything the network has to offer, including G'day Gridiron, Pastry Press, NFL, and Aussie Gridiron Today. Buy merch and win free stuff. Visit the mothership at Linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Hooroo!